What is going on, everybody? So today I'm going to be showing you a Rapid Strike Water deck profile, and this is one of the most fun decks that you can play in water. This deck is sort of getting lost in the mist. There's a lot of really cool decks that are emerging, and it's important that we remember some of these really cool decks that are still competitive for newer players to play, and they're very cheap, and it's another way to play water other than playing whales. So definitely check it out. Definitely test it on your own. Make sure that it's competitive enough that you could use it in your locals. It's definitely competitive enough to use it in our locals, so that's why I'm showcasing it. And as time goes on, water is one of the most favorite gyms out there, so it's only gonna get better and better. And with newer cards, especially it's a starter gym, so we're definitely always gonna be getting newer and newer cards. But we don't want this deck to get lost in the mist, so we want to make sure that there is a really good place in Team Mumu Milk for you guys to always come back into our channel and check it out and just update the deck as time goes on. So today I'm going to be showing Joe Sturino's deck profile. This list specifically is my own, in the sense that we switch a couple of cards around, but 90% of the cards that you see here are taken from his deck. So all the credit is to him. I'm just showing you a couple of decks that I enjoy when I play with friends and I've been having fun online using. But you definitely check out his list. He's a really cool guy. Go check him out in Discord. He's always at the Tricky Gym Discord, and ask him any questions. I'm sure that he's going to continue to update his build, and if there is anything that you guys don't like from his build or my build, you could definitely change it and make it your own. Okay, so really cool Rapid Strike Water deck profile. I hope you enjoyed. All right, so we're gonna start. Let me organize this really quick. Put artillery in its place right over here. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Calibur lineup. So this lineup is really cool because it's a newer card that we just got, and he's really interesting because this is basically a snipe sort of water deck. So what we want to do is we want to snipe things in the bench that are getting charged up by our opponents, and we want to interrupt those cards before they get stronger and stronger and more of a threat to us in between the game, right? So in the middle of the game. So we want to play Calibur because we are also playing Frostmoth. I have it right over here. So we also play the Frostmoth lineup, and these are going to be our water energy accelerators. So we definitely want to have more than one, right? Because your opponent is probably going to try to snipe these Pokemons to hurt the consistency in our deck. So we want to have multiple Pokemon that do basically the same thing, so that they don't interrupt what we're trying to do, right? So we are using both the Calibur and the Frostmoth lineup. You can also attack with Calibur for 3 energy. It does 130 with Buster Tail. And he's also weak to steel, or metal, whatever you want to call it, not electric. So they're both weak to metal and not electricity, which is really cool. It comes up, right? A lot of times water players are very scared of the lightning matchup, and with the new Joltik coming around, and amazing Raikou just being amazing, it's always going to be really scary on the matchup. But having things that are weak to metal instead of electric are always really, really nice. Okay, so that's it for our water turbo energizing Pokemon. We also have one of the community's favorites. We have the Intellon lineup. What's really cool about this lineup is that a lot of people forget that Sully is a Rapid Strike Pokemon, so you can search him up with artillery. So it's definitely a card that you're going to want to try to pick up at the beginning of the game, right? To get your as much consistency as you can at the beginning of the games, or even mid to late game. But it's a card that's searchable through the artillery Rapid Strike engine, and that's what I'm gonna show right now. So this is Joe's favorite card. It's one of the coolest cards that you're probably going to see in the deck, with the ability Rapid Strike Search, which basically you can look at any Rapid Strike card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. So there's some really cool cards that we're going to mention in this deck profile where you can just search them up instead of using the older auxiliary, where you are increasing your hand. Here you're looking for exactly the card that you need to actually, you know, make a big impact throughout the game. So you can definitely search him up. So really cool card, one of my favorites. The artwork is so nice. You can also get it, I believe it comes in full art. There's a couple of really cool artworks for the same card, so just pick your favorite and play it. If you don't know what a couple of these cards do, definitely check them out. I can't go card by card explaining what they do because it's going to take forever. We're also going to take one of the strongest cards in the deck, the Stormy lineup, the Rapid Strike Stormy. There is a Staryu that's Rapid Strike. I like this one better because it has free retreat, but you guys can pick up the Rapid Strike one. And, you know, with the stage, you also get a free retreat. So it's not a big deal. This is just the one that I prefer. It's weak to grass, not lightning, so I also enjoy that. But Stormy, what does this Stormy do? So this Stormy discard any amount of water energy from this Pokemon, and then for each energy you discarded this way, choose one of your opponent's Pokemon and do 30 damage to it. So it's pretty cool. It doesn't affect weakness or resistance. So this is one of your win conditions with the Stormy. What's cool about this deck is you always want to start hitting your opponent, but you don't want to actually KO anything. So you're not going to activate, you know, you're not going to activate those teammates. You're not going to activate those Rhyhorns, Rosa, any of those cards that are going to put you behind, even, you know, KOing Pokemon, so that those Iono, those cards that are later going to hit you really hard mid to late game because of the prices you've taken. It doesn't really work with this deck. Every time they play N or they play Iono, it's gonna hurt more. It's gonna hurt them more than you, because you're practically should always be at 6 to 5 prices. So you're gonna be, you know, always having cards in hand, which is really nice. Okay, so definitely the Stormy. Here's my favorite Pokemon of the deck. We have the Cloyster lineup. Really cool. This Cloyster has an ability called Shell Armor, and this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. What's cool is this card does 60 to the active, but also does 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon, which is really cool because it helps with the later Rapid Strike sniping, you know, finishing up the job. What's really cool with him is that you could actually place Spot Helmet on him, and it's minus 60, which is insane. This card almost becomes, sometimes it almost feels like he's immortal, and he's definitely one of my coolest, one of my favorite cards, because he's so cool, and I really like this guy. Look at this artwork. Unfortunately, I don't have a hollow one, but it's a really cool one, and they're both Rapid Strike, so you can search them both. And then we have some of the basics that we play in the deck. So we play the Lapras, we play the Articuno, and we play the Tapu Fini. Okay, so these cards are really cool because they're basic, they're very strong, and let me put this right up here so you can see it. Let's put this line up over here. Let's put this over here. But yeah, let's talk about these 3 basics. So Tapu Fini and Lapras, they're very similar to what they do. They're both Rapid Strike. You put all the energies attached to this Pokemon to your hand, and this attack does 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So again, it's a sniper. This one's also not really a sniper. Put an energy attached to this Pokemon into your hand. Put an energy, so only one, but this is 120. Now, you might be thinking like, wow, like I just wasted like 3 turns of you know, putting energy on these Pokemon, and now I have nothing. But remember that you have your energy accelerators. So you're going to attack, and then by next turn, you're just going to attach all of them to the same Pokemon or to another one. And you don't lose anything if this gets KO, because your water energies are always going to be in hand. So you basically attack, those energies get recycled into your hand, and then to mid to late game you could attach them to Stormy and just take 3, 4, 5 prices, which is really cool. And then we have our Articuno. So this Articuno is something that I really enjoy. I feel like eventually a lot of these Pokemons like Guzzlord, Amazing Raikou are probably gonna get banned because they basically get 2 prices. So what's cool about this Articuno is that if your opponent's Pokemon is KO'd by damage from an attack of this Pokemon, take 1 more price card. So you could get 2 prices off of this Articuno. Again, all of this is it's been played. People know of it. We just want to make sure that, you know, it doesn't get lost in the mist. It doesn't get lost. So we want to make sure that you guys remember what this deck does. There is some cool stuff that gets added from time to time. So again, we just want it up there in YouTube in our channel for you guys to like come back and just, you know, just get to see and just look at some of these cool cards. And again, this doesn't do a lot because you are flipping coins. But that's cool. That's what's cool about this deck, right? Because you are basically you're spreading up damage, and then this guy is finishing the job, and you're getting 2 prizes off of it, which is really cool. You can snipe Stormy, do a bunch of damage, and then just finish. Just finish getting that last prize or those last 2 prizes with Articuno. So those are our that's our Pokemon lineup. Took a little while, but I wanted to make sure that you guys knew exactly a little bit about the Pokemon lineup, because it's the lineup is always very important. It's probably the most important part of the deck, so that's why I wanted to take a little more time. So as for supporters, we're gonna get Nessa, right? Because we want to get that Stormy attack probably more than 1 time, but we're gonna be discarding a lot with Stormy if we ever, you know, use it. So we want to make sure that we can recycle those not only water Pokemon, but those water energies back into our hand, so we could use it into other Pokemon. So very important. Lusamine is a card that I added because the stages are very important in this deck, and some of the supporters as well, right? So sometimes we want to get those supporters like Nessa, for example, and we also want to get those stadiums that give us free retreat, or even like hurt our opponent, or even help us to snipe. So things like Silent Lab, it's very important. So I really enjoyed Lusamine mid to late game. She just really comes in clutch. We have Marnie. That's one of my favorite supporters. It never hurts. It's always helpful for you. Irida, we have to play Irida, right? Gets 1 Pokemon and an item card. So any water Pokemon. So definitely very water specific. So we really want her. Arven is probably, I think, All About That Beach talked about this card in one of his YouTube videos, how there is some really good points out there to say that Arven is probably a staple, if not one of the best supporters in the whole format. So definitely I've enjoyed it. Playing Cynthia over Professor's Research, because there's been a lot of times in our games playing this deck where I really didn't want to discard anything. It always took a while to get those things back into my hand, and every time that I did that, I preferred energies. So I went with Cynthia. It's been working really well. I wouldn't change it. We play the Guzma, which is always really a stable, and Gloria. So this Gloria always gets switched in my list because I'm a huge Apricorn Maker guy. So Apricorn Maker is one of my favorites. I think I'm the only player probably in the planet that plays it. And if you're playing a deck that has a lot of Pokeballs, then like water, then I'm always gonna play Ball Guy, and I'm gonna play Apricorn Maker. I just enjoy it. You can get evolutions, you can get basics, you can get energy. So I really enjoyed. But for this deck profile specifically, I wanted to play Gloria. We also play Tate and Liza. Again, it's just very nice to have the 2 effects. They both come into play depending on the matchup. Either you shuffle and draw 5, or you get to switch your active with one of your bench, which is always really cool. Raihan is a must for sure. Ball Guy, favorite card. We play Iono, we play Boss Order, and then I'm gonna talk about probably the MVP of the deck, which is Corina's Focus. So now, Corina's Focus, basically what it does is you draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand, which isn't too crazy, right? But the thing is, this is a card that can get searched by artillery. So it's a rapid strike card. And we really, you don't know how many times I've been, in being really worried about my hand, and I just remember that I have artillery, I can get this card, and I'm back into full. And even if it's just drawing 4 cards, 5 cards, there's been many times where I just don't have a hand, and I draw 6 cards, and it's just been ridiculous. And then I have a surprise for you guys. So I play Giacomo. So this card is special energy from each of your opponent's Pokemon. So this is just a card that, again, people don't play it. I've been enjoying playing this card in this particular deck, and people don't. Since nobody plays this card, it's just a tech card that I've enjoyed. But you could play Hex Maniac, or you could play whatever you want. I've just been having a lot of fun playing it with friends, so that's why I play it. But you could use, again, part of these deck profiles is adding those 1, 2, 3 cards that just make it a little spicy, and it's very, very fun when you play with your friends, but also keeping it very competitive. So against electric, against fighting, against even psychic or colorless, these are big meta decks that are constantly using special energies in today's format. So this card comes in clutch. You don't know how many times I've done this to a colorless player and they literally just scoop, or to a fighting player, and it's been really, really nice. I've just enjoyed it, and you can always, again, you can get it. It's not the fact that you're using it once, it's the fact that you're using multiple times. You can get it with Lucamine, you can get it with Versus Seeker and play it again. So it's really cool. I've definitely enjoyed it. Okay, so let's put this guy on top because she's the MVP, right? She goes with the theme of the deck. Let's go right over here. There we go. And then let's talk about the items. So for the items, we play an escape rope. We play a superior energy retrieval. So this is the last card that I added at the last minute. It's just really nice. So like I said, there's been many times that I just really wanted to get those water energies out of my discard pile. So that's why I've added it. But you can change it for a rod. It just depends on the scenario. Sometimes I prefer rod. Sometimes I prefer superior energy retrieval. It's just, I guess, it's just something that depends on what you prefer. We play Capacious Bucket, Versus Seeker. We play Evolution Incense, Fuel Blow. A lot of these are very standard. We play Trainer Smell. And then we get some to the Pokeballs. We get Timer Ball. We get Die Ball. We get Quick Ball. We get Level Ball. Hisuian Heavy Ball, right, for consistency. Because we never want those important basics to get stuck. We get that Ultra Ball. We get Nest Ball. The beautiful Body Puffins. And I personally play Team Aqua's Great Ball. So there's been many times where I've played Ball Guy and I just needed that extra energy, and I don't know, I've just really enjoyed it. I play it in most of my water decks, and it's just been really fun. Go. Alright, almost fell there. Okay, and then we play Pod Helmet. And we play Pod Helmet, and we also play Floatstone. So those are the only 2 tools that we play. And that's it for the trainers, the items, I should say. Let's put this guy up front. Whoop. All right, and that's for the energies. We play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 basic water energies, and we play the amazing Rapid Strike energy. Counts as 2. if you're playing against, if you're using it on a Rapid Strike Pokemon, which is super cool with Cloyster, with any of the Rapid Strike Pokemon really. I've really enjoyed it. It's an amazing special energy, and with the new Colress coming up, it's definitely a card that it's right around the corner. You could play it. I tested it. It's okay in this build. There's been many times that I've really liked it. There's a lot of times that you search it with auxiliary anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But definitely a cool card, probably the best in the deck for sure. And then as for the stadiums, we have Tower Waters for the free retreats, Silent Lab, and the Brooklet Hill. Okay, so I hope you really enjoy the video. Again, this is not a new deck that we're just creating from scratch. It's just something that we can't let it get lost in the mist. We can't we can't forget that exists. So I hope you enjoy the video, and we're definitely going to be creating more content as we go. So I think the next deck that we're going to show up, I think it's Lightning. I'm not sure yet. I think I said that in the last video, and we still haven't posted Lightning. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed these videos. These are just fun for us to make, and I know the community, some of you enjoyed it. We don't have a lot of subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I think if we get to 1,000, we are definitely going to be really happy with that. And I think that's going to be enough for us, just 1,000 subscribers. Okay, so anyways, let us know if you have similar builds, if you made it on your own, if you have suggestions, put it in the comments. And we'll it's gonna definitely help. If not us, the next person that comes along and reads the comments. All right. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys around.